In the neon-lit maze of the modern world, a quiet catastrophe is unfolding. The average man's attention is no longer his own. His focus is a ghost, flickering between screens and chasing shadows, leaving him spiritually hollow and physically drained. His gaze is hesitant, defensive, a submissive signal broadcasted in every interaction, announcing a soul that has lost its center. But there exists a brotherhood of the unspoken, those who have chosen a harder path, the path of the silent command. They practice the ancient art of retention, the preservation of the life spark that most men throw away for a moment of pleasure. Through this practice, they unlock something terrifying to the uninitiated, a presence that vibrates with an unsettling frequency. It is the silent command, a look so heavy, so penetrating, that it becomes an unbearable weight for others to carry. Why does this happen? Why does a physical choice transform into a spiritual weapon that can anchor a room or shatter a lie? Tonight, we strip back the layers of biology, philosophy, and history to understand the weight of the unbearable gaze. Welcome to the furnace of reality. Let us begin with the cold, hard science of the seventh day. It starts in the blood. Research shows that on the seventh day of retention, serum testosterone spikes to nearly 150%. This isn't just a number. It is a dominant spike, an evolutionary signal that your body is ready to lead and to protect. But the true power lies deeper, in the upregulation of your androgen receptors, the antennas of your biological presence. Retention clears the static. It makes your body more sensitive to the power you already possess, sharpening your internal focus. The modern man is drowned in a sea of cheap dopamine. His brain is perpetually scanning for the next fleeting hit. His eyes move frantically, seeking validation, seeking threat, never finding a place to rest. He is a seeker, not a holder. The practitioner of retention is different. He has found the center of the storm. He has stopped the hunt. His gaze has moved from a seeking state to a holding state, a gaze that needs absolutely nothing from the room it inhabits. This lack of need is what people find most unsettling. It is a presence that is complete within itself, requiring no approval. Neuroscience reveals that high testosterone acts as a dampener on the amygdala, the brain's primitive alarm system. The amygdala is what forces you to look away when you feel threatened. Retention silences this biological cowardice. It gives you the biological permission to stare into the abyss without flinching. It is the end of involuntary gaze aversion. It engages subcortical pathways that signal social dominance. In the wild, the first to look away is the one who submits. Human society is no different. We win and lose fights in the milliseconds of eye contact before a single word is spoken. When you hold the gaze, you are essentially winning a fight that never truly began. You have already claimed the territory. The other person feels a sudden surge of cortisol, a stress response to your unwavering and unexplained presence. They feel seen at a level they aren't prepared for. Your eyes become a flashlight into the dark corners of their self-doubt. This is why it becomes unbearable. It is a confrontation with a reality that is unmasked and brutally honest. They look away not because they hate you, but because they cannot face the truth of themselves reflected in your stillness. The retention of your seed is the retention of your truth. And now we must look to the ancients who knew this well. The ancient Stoics had a name for this invisible connection. They called it pneuma, the vital breath of the cosmos. They believed vision was an extramissive act, a literal extension of your soul into the physical world. To see was to touch, and the quality of that touch depended entirely on your internal tonos, your soul's tension. They believed vision was an extension of this pneuma, a physical tension that connects the soul to the object of its focus. The penetrating gaze is the sign of a soul that is tightened and focused, governed by the hegemonicon, the commanding faculty. By retaining your seed, you are preserving the vital heat necessary for this tension. You are fueling the fire of your pneuma. Every time you deplete yourself for a moment of pleasure, you are cooling your pneuma. Your gaze becomes thin and watery. But the retainer is a furnace. His pneuma is dense and hot. When he looks, he is not just seeing, he is ordering reality. The Stoics practiced prosoph, continuous attention. They knew that a man who cannot control his eyes cannot control his life. Look to the archetypes of authority throughout history, the great masters, the unwavering warriors, the Stoic kings. They possessed what the old books call the lion's gaze, a look that does not flinch because it knows its own strength. In cinema, we see it in the noir anti-hero. He speaks little, but his eyes command the entire frame. He is a man of depth. This depth is not an accident. It is the result of a deliberate conservation of energy. It is the power of what is not said. Practitioners often speak of a magnetism, a social pull that draws opportunities and people toward them. This is not magic, it is frequency. Your nervous system is no longer vibrating with the static of anxiety and guilt. Your voice deepens, your movements become deliberate, and your eyes, the projectors of your soul, become crystal clear. Observe the dynamics of the social arena. Notice how most people fill the silence with meaningless words, afraid of the void. The retainer is the void. He welcomes the silence. He anchors the room with a presence that is heavy and undeniable. In your presence, others feel a need to justify themselves. They admit things they didn't intend to say, drawn out by your silence. In negotiations, the man who can hold the gaze without blinking is the man who holds the cards. He is the master of the frame. In romance, this intensity is perceived as a deep, primal confidence. It is a look that promises protection and presence. But a warning must be given. There is a difference between the gaze of presence and the stare of aggression. Aggression is a seeking behavior. It wants something from the other. Presence is holding. It simply is. Do not confuse the two. To use the gaze to bully or to dominate for ego's sake is a form of hubris. The Stoics would call this a misuse of the hegemonicon. The disciplined eye is a tool of service. It brings clarity to the room. It brings order to the chaos of the unspoken. How do you develop this? It begins with prososh, the practice of continuous, undivided attention in every moment. Stop the external scan. Stop looking for the next hit of novel information. Fix your mind, and your eyes will follow. Preserve the internal fire. Every time you resist a shallow impulse, you are adding fuel to the furnace of your presence. Monks and ascetics have always known the secret of the bright eye, the eye that has been purged of lust and shadow. It stops seeing people as objects to be used and starts seeing them as souls to be met. This is intensity rooted in depth. The silent command is the ultimate form of authenticity. You are exactly who you claim to be, and that is dangerous. Your eyes become a purifying fire, burning away the masks of those around you. They flinch because they cannot hide. So you find yourself on this path. You feel the heat rising. You see the world flinching. Do not misuse this gift. The silent command is a responsibility. Use it to anchor the weak and to lead those who are lost in the fog of the modern age. In a world of noise, become the silence. In a world of flickering ghosts, become the unyielding flame. This is the reclamation of your biological and spiritual birthright. This is the path of the silent commander. The gaze is only the beginning. It is the outward sign of an inward mastery. Master yourself, and you master the world. Let your eyes be the windows through which eternity looks into the temporal world. Make it worth seeing. The command is silent, but its impact is deafening. Go forth with your fire intact. Preserve your essence. Master your gaze. The eyes are the windows. Make sure what's behind them is worth seeing. This is the reclamation of your throne. Stay focused, stay strong, and never let your gaze be broken by the shallow world. You are the silent commander. Your eyes are the anchor. When the world tries to pull you into its chaos, you remain fixed. You are the stillness. Retention changes the very texture of your being. Your skin clears, your eyes brighten, and you carry a visible glow of vitality. You stand taller. Your presence occupies more space. Your posture broadcasts a message of unshakable self-assurance. This presence creates a ripple effect. Others begin to adjust their behavior around you, sensing a standard they must meet. You become the unspoken standard in the room. You don't need to speak. Your silence sets the tone and the boundaries. Society is a mirror. Most people see their own weakness reflected in the world. You see only your own strength. This is the reclamation of the throne of your attention. You are no longer a subject of the digital age. You are its master. Become the eternal watcher of your own soul. Protect the fire. Guard the gaze. Remain the commander of your destiny. The world will try to break you. It will try to steal your fire. Remember the cost of looking away. Remember the command. In the end, the silence is your greatest ally. Let it speak for you. Let your eyes be your only testimony. Stay focused. If this resonance touched your soul, show your support by liking and sharing this transmission with others on the path. Subscribe and join our Brotherhood of Seekers. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with our deep dives into the spirit. To help us continue this transdisciplinary work, consider using the thanks button below. Every contribution keeps the fire burning. Until next time, remain the master of your own gaze. Stay focused, stay strong. Good night.